with Coco J. Today I'm going to be talking to my Black women specifically about how we have certain superpowers within us, such as being natural born healers, nurturers, and just very emotional creatures. Emotional creatures in a good way, not the way you would think of it as, the modern day times say women are emotional. We're emotional because we're able to recognize someone else's emotions and know how to take care of it and know how to talk them through it, because we all know we have a species that's across from us, the male, that isn't really great at it. So I feel like it works that we are emotional, that we are so aware of that. But I feel like the ability to care, the ability to nurture, and the ability to educate and heal our families is something that isn't present in our communities right now, which leads to a sequela of issues. Everything is a problem in itself, but I want to offer a solution and a conversation about those specific things: healing, nurturing, educating, and emotion. Emotion was the last one. So to start off first, I want to talk about educating. We often leave educating as something to the men to do, to teach our families, and we often leave educating to the public school systems. I feel like we as women also should teach about how our kids can tap into their emotions. We should teach them, hey, whenever you're feeling sick, you need to recognize this about your body. You don't have to rely on an outside source to heal your family. Now, if you have a broken leg, you probably gonna need some help with that. So not anything extensive, but as far as a common cold or, a scrape or a scar that you want to get rid of, like, you are the healer of the home. So that is something that you not only have to educate yourself about, but whenever you're producing a life and you want them to be able to go out into this world and not have to rely so heavily on it, especially the way it's run right now, you want to be able to teach them those things. And like I said, with education, everybody in the household has a role. So as a woman, you have things that you're supposed to teach your children. As a man, they have their own things that they're supposed to teach. Also, in addition to that, whenever it comes to educating, you don't want your kids to be going out to public school systems, because I feel like we often leave a lot of teaching to whoever that second grade teacher is in their class, because that's who they see all day, that they're going to pick up habits from them and their ways. So you also want to make sure that you consider thinking of having, somebody more local to teach your kids and educate them on ways of how to really live in this world and survive. And I'm only having this conversation because I feel like we often attack the men whenever they aren't doing right, but whenever you put things in retrospect and look at some things that we need to improve on, because a lot of the chaos that's going on in the world right now is because there isn't love. Like, there isn't enough love being given out. It's too much. We're can go ahead and transition into nurturing as another topic, because what we're placing on the table is a pretty big factor. Like I said, I'm talking to women specifically because whenever you talk about putting stress on the table, putting anxiety on the table with your kids, anger with your husband, things like autism, feeding them Cheerios for breakfast, like, we can go into the in-depth, but this is just going to be kind of like a general video of how women need to be more cautious of what we place on the table. And you have to understand, whenever you're putting that chicken patty on the table for your kids, all the stress that chicken went through, all the torturing that they did, that stress that he produced hormones, and the hormones is in the chicken, in addition to the hormones they place in it, that is what they're consuming. In addition to the environment of the home, not healing music playing, there's rap music playing, or there's just chaos going on. You want to be able to sit, and whenever you're actually at the table having that meal, you want to make sure you're not overfeeding your family as well. The breakfast should be light. Midday, you have something maybe a little heavier. Maybe your heaviest meal of the day is dinner. There's multiple ways that we have to go into this, and about how we don't even sit together as a family anymore at the table, and how there's like a connection to that, just even deep through like our history of being able to come together and have a meal and discuss and talk and eat. And it's more of an experience rather than you sitting in front of a television mindlessly eating, not realizing how much you're consuming and the flavors of the things that you eat and how it connects to emotions that you lack. But anywho, that is the topic about nurturing and how we have to educate ourselves on what we place on the table because they leave it up to us. And sometimes you have to teach this to your man whenever he's gone and he's out for the day. Like everything goes vice versa. But nurturing, that's another topic I want to talk about. Emotions, I kind of spoke on briefly in the beginning, but basically in a nutshell, just understand that in order for you to have, emotions as your superpower, you have to be able to look inward and recognize that where the root causes of your emotions come from. And that goes with how to interact with people, just anything that goes into being emotionally intelligent. I also want to talk about the superpower of us being healers again. I know I briefly touched on, if somebody has a broken leg, you can't really, get that fixed. But, like I said, if they're having a common cold, you should be able to fix that. You shouldn't have to, cost yourself excess expenses. One final superpower that we as women, and no matter what race or ethnicity background you are, is our ability to carry, our ability to bear a life. I feel like, we don't really value that now. And I don't think people really understand that there is an attack on us, definitely as Black women, and our womb. We need to understand that it's a privilege to be able to be a woman. Like, it really is. To be the ability to be able to produce a life, carry it. There's gonna come a time, well, it's already in the works, I'm sure, where like women aren't gonna be needed to produce a life. Like, your ability, something that makes you most womanly of all isn't gonna be such a thing anymore. So I don't know if y'all really think of it like that. Like, oh, I'm still gonna be a woman. Oh, well, what makes you ultimately a woman? Oh, well, I can have kids. I have a uterus. I can have a kid too. So just think about it, okay? I wanted to have this conversation just to kind of jog y'all's mind and let you think about, self-reflect about women that in your life, or you personally, how you handle. Like, I know me, I'm of coming of age, finna hit a quarter, and I want to be able to have certain qualities and attributes whenever I do come to the time that I want to bear a life or conjoin with another man, that I have myself together. And I don't have it all figured out, but I have things set in stone and in place to where I'm tapped into my emotions. I'm tapped into how I can heal my own self. I'm tapped into how I can educate my own self. I'm tapped into how I take care of myself overall, to where anytime I come around somebody, or I'm feeling an aura that I shouldn't be around, I can recognize it. Whenever I find a man that's for me, I can recognize it. Whenever I eventually have kids one day, I teach them to recognize each one of these things that I teach myself. Same as my man. Regardless, I just want to say, think about it. Be ready for the next conversation. That's pretty much everything I touched on. We as women, recognize your power of being a true healer, a true nurturer, an educator, and the ability to produce life, because they trying to come after us, y'all. So get with it. We got to start changing. That's the solution right there to a lot of issues that we have going on. So be ready. It's not easy. Everything comes with work. A lot of times, us in the Black community specifically, we're so high on this little rock that we place ourselves on, that's really just the same as somebody else sitting next to us, to where we don't want to be told anything about our kids, about family traditions, about how to raise somebody, what to put on the table. We don't want to tell, how's she gonna tell me something about my child? That's what y'all like to say, because y'all want that child to be something that you own, because let's not go there. like I said, just have an open mindset. That's the point that I wanted to get to, is to have an open mindset and allow this information that you just came across today to impact you in some type of way, to where you go research this or go look into this and how like you can improve in some type of way as a woman. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you found this informative, or it sparked some type of light bulb in you to where you want to change, or just even self-reflect to see, you know, something that you can improve on as a woman, to where we can get this world be filled with love again. So thank y'all for watching. Catch y'all in my next video.